What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to Sunless Sea. My name is Splattercat. Happy to have you here today as we hang out for a little while and try and get our feet wet, or our boat wet at the bare minimum. I guess if our feet are wet, that's a bad thing. It means the boat's leaking. Still, we need to find Mount Palmerston, but there are things we need to do before that. We need to sell off our Scintillac, which is around here somewhere. I don't know. Let's see if we can find. There it is. So we get 70 echoes for the Scintillac. That's 230 echoes now that we have to play around with when we go back out. I'm going to try and get 20 fuel on board so that we can actually go out to sea for a very, very long time. I think Mount Palmerston is always in the top row of the map. I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure it always shows up in the north somewhere. So maybe we just didn't go far enough east. We can give it another go. We need to go down to the Canet again as well. And so I figure we'll do that. But for right now, let's go back to the storyline. We need to go to the Clathernon. How much does this cost, by the way? It costs 1 echo to get a little bit, so we cure 25 tier. Okay, that's pretty cool. I think I would rather... Whoa! You've got to, like, give up a move in the Great Game for 2 pages? Wow, that's brutal. That's actually quite a lot. I suppose I'd rather go with mirrors. I think mirrors is the one that I need to get up to 30 in order to be able to combine things the way I want to. And so since we have memories of a distant shore, let's go ahead and do that. It's going to cost, what, 1 echo? Let's go ahead and do that. We got the unflinching eye. The gold needle pricks. Lily Clathermont hums. At the end of the process, the tattoo's gaze is so expressive that you almost expect it to blink. You're almost hesitant to look at your own arm in the eye. And so we lost an echo, we got our own sweet skin, so we went ahead and got a tattoo. We lost a memory of distant shores, but we gained 2 mirrors, and we lost 25 terror, which is really, really good. The other events that we need to do, the venture capitalist, he wanted 7 hunting trophies or 7 Scintillac. I probably should have started stacking up the Scintillac for later, but it was taking up space in our hold, so maybe we'll do it in a while. The alarming scholar, do I have anything for you? Extraordinary implications. We can sell those. A dread surmise. Okay, there are a number of things that we can take care of here. If we use the dread surmise, she goes away forever. Really? Huh. I turned in a searing enigma one time, but I forgot what I got. I got something for it. The memory of distant shores I'll probably hold on to because we can trade it up north for other things. Let's go in provision. I think provisioning for right now is the best plan that we have. I'm going to go ahead and throw everything into fuel for right now. Our cargo is almost full. You want to keep about 100 echoes on you for just like random things around, because what we found last time when we left is that we had trouble keeping ourselves in front of things monetarily. I wanted to get some news so we can rest in our room. It costs 10 echoes to rest in our own room. That's brutal. All right, well, we'll do that, I guess. We gained a restful night, so that's good. We should already have news. Yeah, we got recent news right there. So let's head back out to sea. We got stuff to do today, and I don't think we should dither for too long inside the port. We are lacking a little bit with regards to supplies. I probably could have bought a little bit more before we go back out, but the nice thing about that is that they tend to give out supplies like candy for most of the random extra stuff, so why worry about it? Our terror is good. We're going to head all the way to the north in Blight or Vender Blight. If we can find ourselves some pirates along the way, that would be great too. I'd love to whack a couple of those little pinnaces over here. That's right, we're going to play Whack-a-Pinnace right now. Laugh if you will into your jackets, gentlemen and ladies, but that's how I make my money sometimes. We got Low Barnet right there. Is Barnet a place in London? Did it sink? Is it sunken in London right now, or is it still there? They're just assuming that this kind of like fell off right here. I don't know if any of these places are actually geographically accurate or not. I don't know. It's something that I'm not aware of. I don't know the topography. What is that right there? Is that an enemy? Does it want to hurt me? It's blue, so I assume it's probably a good guy. Let's go ahead and we'll reconnoiter for a little bit. I guess we might as well get the port report while we're here. We'll use the news, and we'll talk to Lucy again. That'll give us a couple of supplies, or 1 supplies right there. We got another one of the Gods of the Z-Stone's attention. We got 2 memories of distant shores, which is good. We lost 10 terror, which means that we're almost down to the bare minimum, like we're starting fresh. We're baby-faced once again with regards to the terrors around us. We're going to head up to the north. There's a lot of sailing in this game. I've always wished that there was a 2x speed in this game, like a little bar up here that you could click or slide or something to make you go double speed around, and it would speed up the game to twice the speed, so you'd have to watch out for that so that you didn't get behind the events. But I've always wished that it was a thing that existed. I think if I could sneak up on this little bastard, we should be okay. Let's go ahead and put the lights on him real fast. We actually want to go kind of off to the side like this. Yeah, we're going to trade a shot right there, unfortunately. Luckily, they only do like 5 damage, so it's not that big of a deal. And with 2 shots, he should be down. Let's go ahead and take his loot real fast. We're going to get a cache of curiosities. We got 1 fuel. Didn't really need 1 fuel, but we got 1 fuel, so that'll work out for right now. Hunger's back down because it got cured when we went to Hunter's Keep. We're going to go up north to Vender Blight. Once I get to the top row, we're just going to go straight east as far as we can to try and find Mount Palmerston, because if we can't make that happen, life is going to be very, very difficult for us. He only did 5 damage. It seems like they do a lot less damage, and the bats and things like that do a lot more. So I think things have been moved around a little bit since the last time that I played. That's all right, though. Every now and again, you got to do some redecorating. It's especially important if you wanted to keep your game developing and keeping it getting better. You have begun to dream of a vast eye. It knows you, and you cannot evade its gaze. Again and again, you are alone in the wide black Z. The eye is aware. Your nightmare will come upon you from time to time, inspiring terror. Gain restful nights at your lodgings to help you resist it. If you defeat it, you gain a secret. I got plenty of those. I just got no way. Oh, that's what I should have done. I should have gathered another officer so I could have got more mirrors. It's okay. It'll still be there for us next time. I feel stupid for not doing it, but what are you going to do? Unfortunately, I just got to live with my decisions for right now. That's the worst, living with your own decisions. Meh, why not just blame it off? Then you know what? It's this guy's fault. Blame it on the cat. He already looks like we're blaming him for things anyways. Is it a male or a female cat? Don't suppose it really matters, but well, technically it does, because male cats are really easygoing. Female cats tend to just be like, meh, I kill you. Anyways, we'll get some gossip there at Vender Blight. We've already been here before, so that'll be nice. We can go to the first curator. Z Captains. The first curator gives audience. The first curator is responsible for the preservation of the tomb colonies. It's been here much longer than London, like all the oldest tomb colonists, but even tomb colonists dissolve in the end. Its time is close. No more light, the obsequious steward cautions you. The curator is terribly afraid of moths. He opens the door and you step into near darkness. A pair of luminous lamplighter bees buzz in a latticed ivory tube. There is no other source of light. A bandaged shape no larger than a child lies crumpled on a couch. It lifts its head with obvious effort. It takes several seconds for you to distinguish its voice from the soft buzz of the bees. Z Captain, Silkskin. Not much time left of me. I will go into the Grand Sanatorium. Bring me colors, 7 colors. Pay well. Cosmogone, Irigo, Pelican. Steward has the list. Find them here and there across the wide black Z. So what he's asking for right now is, you know how we have Roy G. Biv? Well, in the Untersee, there's colors that we don't have in the real world, or I guess in the overworld, and he wants us to bring him all of those colors that we don't know about. And so there it is. I can't describe them to you or anything like that because, you know, obviously I can't perceive those colors. He can, but that's what we're looking for. We're looking for colors that technically don't exist. And so we can ask about the Grand Sanatorium, but that's just where these guys go once they get too old. They don't ever die, but, you know, they have to go somewhere eventually. We all got to go somewhere eventually. We have the Grand Tour Operator. We don't have enough supplies for right now. I would rather use them to find all the really, really, really vital stuff. We have stuff that's, like, requisite right now, and until we get that covered, I think we're a little bit screwed. Let's go to, let's explore Vender Blight one more time. We lost Terror, and it looks like we've got the Vengeance of Jonah going on. At the twisty tip of the odd little side street, welcoming yellow light glows from the gilt-lettered windows of a restaurant. A sign reads, Vengeance of Jonah. A beefy tomb colonist bustles up. A gray mustache pokes impertinently out from under his bandages. Come in, come in. We can recruit him if we have the money, but I don't have the money right now. I think it's pronounced Poissonnier. I don't know exactly I don't know how that's pronounced, but Poissonnier sounds good. It sounds classy, so that's what I'm going to do. We can sample. We can't do that right now, but we can sample today's special, which is a 60%. The food here is exceptional. You need not fear poisoning or boredom. Definitely not boredom. It's going to cost us 60 echoes. That's too expensive for right now. I don't want to waste that much money on something that we can do later. Once we're actually a lot richer and a lot more satisfactorily gilded, I suppose. That's what they said earlier, and I wanted to use the word, so we're not gilded at the moment, but someday we might be. We're going to have those silks, that mane, them furs. People are going to be like, oh, watch out for him. He got them furs on. You know that he's rich. He calls the shots in the Untersee. I'll be like, chilling it, please. I'll call the Admiral out and just be like, listen, son, you need to go get me a soda right now before I get angry. He'd be like, yes, sir. I'm like, that's what I thought. Let's keep going up to the north. We got the port report from over here. Lots of stuff to be done in today's episode, and we need to get to doing it. I'm going to try and actually, we got plenty of fear right now. Our terror is perfectly fine at the moment, so let's turn out the lamps. And the next thing that I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and stay next to this over here. We'll kind of take it north. I'm going to avoid the Lifeberg for right now because that is an enemy with which we cannot spar. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to turn back in our direction. That's pretty bad. That's not good. Let's go ahead and turn on the jets for right now. That should help us outrun him, and I don't think he can fit in between there. Very, very rarely does the boiler ever blow up, so I don't worry about it that much. You press the F key in order to trigger that. I talked about it briefly to begin with, but it's not something that I ever concern myself with. I tend to use Turbo Boost a lot by comparison to most people, and it works out pretty well, pretty swimmingly, actually, to bring in more water puns. We've got the House of the Question. What the hell is this? We can gain Salt's attention if we had a Z story. We could actually lock that down right now. I don't know if I want Salt's attention. Northwest of Withertown, the House of the Question stands alone. Here, the initiates of the house make offerings to the 3 gods of the deep sea and perhaps a 4th who is not a god. It is one place in Wither where you can sometimes get a straight answer for a price. Okay, so we can ask about the drowned man for 100 echoes. We can spit on the floor and, oh, we've been here before, whatever. Let's go back this way. We can gather intelligence. So there it is right there. Unfortunately, we don't apply that intelligence to ourselves. We just give it away. We can take shore leave for 98 and 50 echoes, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Let's explore the town. A contest of riddles. Fisherfolk, sailors, a shady couple of likely pirates, and is that a drowning down by the water's edge? They sit round a fire at the Z's edge, passing around a bottle of something viscously black. They're wagering on riddles. Will you join them? I don't think that I will. Got an almost impossible riddle. One time I sat here with money for a while and just clicked them over and over again and save scummed it just to see what would happen. It's some pretty good stuff if you wanted to play around with it. I don't know. I don't normally do that one because it's out and out gambling. None of the chances are good. They're all pretty terrible, and so I tend to not worry about it. There's going to be a snowbank over here, a recurring nightmare. We are watched. Turn the helm and flee across the milk-bright sea. This will reduce the nightmare's strength. If it reaches 0, the nightmare will fade entirely. If you have restful nights, they'll reduce the difficulty. We do, so we have a straightforward challenge. The sea churns in your wake. You pull away from the eye into shallower waters of the waking, but a terror clings. We lost a restful night. We lost a menace, and so we gained 1 terror, but we survived our nightmare for right now. Ah, weight is lifted. Your dreams have passed, and that is good. You've lost 1 terror, and that's gone, isn't it? All right, I thought we got a secret after that was accomplished, but I guess that we don't for right now. I'm going to cut to the east. We're going to go to Codex. I'm going to try and avoid as many of these snowstorms as possible. Let's keep an eye on our fuel, obviously, because we have a lot to accomplish today and a lot to accomplish in the next coming episodes, and keeping our fuel up is going to be far more important than keeping our terror down. Terror is pretty manageable, even once it gets up over 50, so I wouldn't concern myself with it too much. Go to Codex, get the port report, continue to the east, and that's all that we have for today. I always feel like in this game there's supposed to be like portions where I should stop talking and just like sail for a while, but it just seems like it would be horribly boring. I don't know. Get another port report and then we'll be the hell up and out of here. It turned on our lights again, unfortunately. Let's turn that off and we're going to keep going to the east. I'd like to get another engine. You get a very, very good engine, as I recall, by completing his quest, and it gives you good fuel efficiency and it makes you go a lot faster, but it takes a while. You got to get a mirror catch box and you got to do some other pretty involved stuff in order to finish him off. I think you got to find your way down to Pello whatever, where the Claymen are. You get one of them, you come back, you turn that in at Hunter's Isle, and then after you do that, there's like a second part to it. It's a pretty long quest. It pays off really well if you can get it done, but it's just something that you have to endeavor to do. It's not something that you're just going to like stumble across and finish on accident. You've actually got to be engaged in it. Chongyi Rift. Is there anything around here that I haven't uncovered, by the way? No, we've actually hit all of this. All right then, well, not going to worry about it. Looks like we've got nothing in range. Off to the east, we've got a fog bank, which will disturb the gunners, but to be fair, they're already pretty disturbed to begin with. That's actually the quality that I prize most in my gunners. The more crazed your eye is, the more I like you as a gunner. Just shoot at everything that moves at us. We got a lamp right there that we're going to fall inside of. Going to turn on our beacon for just a second to get the terror down. Why not? Buy ourselves a couple of seconds of uninterrupted movement. Turn that off very, very quickly. And I guess we'll go east of Frostbound. I thought we were a lot further out east when we hit Frostbound. I've never seen Frostbound be to the west of Mount Palmerston, but I guess it can happen. I don't know. Ever since they swapped the game over to the randomly generated map, I have just been really, really lost most of the time, and I assume that was probably what they were going for when they did it. But ever since then, I've had a lot of trouble navigating. It's been one of those things where at the beginning of the game, at the outset, when you're still scrambling around to find all those little things, it can be a game ender. You can get yourself into a lot of trouble if you just can't seem to find the thing that you want, especially if you're a new player and you don't have like a good idea where some things tend to show up every single time. We got Frostbound over here. Send out a Z-Bat. Seems like a good idea. Our rodent friend, bring back any tidings of Teneb is to the northeast, and I don't think we ever actually went after that. I don't think I'll go to Teneb for right now. Let's dock here. Looks like Frostbound's port is down to the southeast, so we don't really have much of a choice on that side. That's kind of the name of the game when you play Fallen London or this, though. Don't really have a choice. Sometimes things go the way that you don't want them to. And you just gotta roll with the punches or the stabs or whatever comes your way. There are worse things than punches and stabs in Fallen London, too. We'll go to Stoddard's Haven and we'll get the port report while we're here. Additionally, there's another thing that I think lines you up with a bunch of Scintillac if you luck out, and so we'll try that as well. Alright, so back in Frostbound, let's create a port report. And now that we've got that, let's take tea, because I think last time we asked about the castle. We're keeping the steps for the Game of Truths, a helpful Riddle Fisher explains as she fills your cup for the third time. Every year, the people of Irem and Wither meet here for, she pauses, contests. That's a euphemism for a sex game, isn't it? She finishes vaguely. The difference between a question and a riddle, one day someone will prove themselves enough to enter the castle. You spend a pleasant few hours while the tea is supplemented with the Remy liquors, pale withered beer, and something the Riddle Fisher describes blandly as snake cake. You offer your fuel and supplies before you leave. We keep enough to spare, the Riddle Fisher grins. From time to time a captain gets lost and comes up here, and we always feel bad for him. Hey, we got freebie fuel, we lost some terror, we got some supplies. Good. All in all, a great day to be us. Let's get up out of here. Snake cakes. Snake cakes seem like something you would find at a really, really dubious gas station when you're hungry, and you just take a gamble on it, and then you spend the next 7 days just like throwing up and just shitting yourself inside out. Like, oh my god, that part of my body, it's supposed to be inside me, but it's outside me. Oh no, I need a doctor, oh no. Oh, it's because I ate a snake cake. It smells like what it smelled like when it went in. It smells going out like it did going in. That's how you know. That's how you know what caused it. I had A&W one time, and I got food poisoning from A&W. I probably shouldn't say that. I just killed all chances of an A&W endorsement. Oh well. I'm never going to eat there again anyways. I got food poisoning after I went to an A&W root beer one time. I got like a burger and fries, and I had food poisoning for like 4 days after that, where I was just like in and out of the bathroom nonstop for days, and I can't eat there ever again. But the thing is, no matter when you were throwing it up, no matter which end it came out of, it smelled the same way out as it did when it was going in. It smelled just like a fry cook's grill. It was the weirdest thing ever. And ever since then, it's just, can't do it. Teneb is up to the north. We got an iceberg right there. Hopefully our bat comes back with good news. Blight is to the west. Okay, I don't want to deal with Blight for right now. We got something up to the northeast. Hopefully it's useful. It may not be, though. Looks like a little lamp next to a little tiny spit of rock. Patooey. Well, damn. Does it have a name? So we don't get anything for that, huh? The rock's like, why do you always have to get something? All you're doing is observing a rock. Like, seriously, how entitled are you right now? Avid Horizon is to the north. Ah, there's Palmerston. I think that's it anyways. It looks about right. It might be the Abbey, though. Yeah, I think that's the Abbey. The Chapel of Lights, yep. Palmerston, it should be around here somewhere, though. It's always near the Chapel of Lights, so this is the first time I've ever seen Frostbound off to the west of Chapel of Lights, too. So it's out here somewhere. We just gotta find it. Palmerston is out there. Avid Horizon is to the northwest. I don't know if Avid Horizon is the name of the dock. We might want to go over there and check it out. Might be worth looking. Might be worth looking. Then again, you never know in Fallen London. Sometimes you don't want to look at it. Might warp your mind and make you all crazy. Life will be all weird. The Chapel of Lights. Furtive faithful gather in the shadows between the many, many candles. A bell tolls in the chapel tower, cracked with iron laughter. Beware, the isle is full of voices. And so we'll eat the chapel's bounty. We can do that first. Let me gather intelligence, too. A smiling priest in a red cassock tends to the chapel. The congregation is shy of light. They come and go in little ships. It seems weird that if you're shy of light, that it would be called the Chapel of Light, and you would be surrounded by light. Wouldn't it be called the Chapel of Darkness, then, and you would not light lights? I don't know. Perhaps some of them are imaginary. Still, you note the name of a ship or two. We'll eat the chapel's bounty. The smiling priest unlocks the door of the storehouse for you. Here, he says, eat, but take nothing away with you. You can also attend a service for 75%. It looks like we have to have more than 5 supplies. Oh, we have to give an offering. Okay. Our supplies are sketchy enough to where I'm not going to risk that for right now. I want this to be an adventure. Like, we'll do this once we have all the money and all the supplies and everything that we have. We'll start hitting some of these locations and doing the events. But for right now, we kind of just want to uncover our charts and make sure that we have everything. And so let's be up out of here. That reset our hunger, so I think we're in good shape. Terror's looking a tad high, but it's not so bad. Let's go up to the northwest, and if that doesn't work, we'll continue out to the east. It's about the best that we can do for right now, given the various information that we've gathered from our rodent, I suppose, sonar. Our Ronar? There we go. That's what I'm going to call it. It's going to be called Ronar. See, somebody could have made a killing if they had just named it and marketed it. All you had to do, it's my Ronar. It's a bat that we sell you. It comes in a box. We train each one. And then once it's on your boat, we promise it might not be litter box trained, but it'll definitely find the nearest island if you need to. I don't think this is what I'm looking for. Avid Horizon. Yeah, this is a little bit too far north, I think. There is a port up here somewhere, as far as I know, though. I think this opens when you do something. Like, there's like a gate up here, and then once you do something elsewhere, the gate opens and like the end of time starts or something weird like that. It gets odd very, very quickly. Let's drop on into here. Two vast winged shapes guard a gate of something like resin, smooth but uneven. It is deep gant, the color that remains when all other colors have been eaten. Ice crusts over the crack between its valves, approach and your breath freezes, tinkling in shards from the air. It would be utterly foolish to touch the thing. A merciless wind blows from everywhere to everywhere. It passes without effort through your bridge coat, your flesh, and your lungs. The dock lies empty. We can look into the stars, we can gather intelligence, so I guess we'll do that. The stillness itself is of interest to the Admiralty. Is not impossible. Someone foolish might attempt to open the gate. It is also not inconceivable that it might open from the other side, and then what then? Alright, well, we can hear a story. It's 77 fragments. The ice by the gate's edge. There was a whisper about a hunting quest. A final revenge. Let's do it. We lost 77 fragments, which is a lot. But we might be able to turn this around. Yes, this is what the rumors meant. A hunter frozen in ice, hands contorted to claws, mouth agape. With her left hand, she had plucked her own eye from the socket, very close to the surface of the ice. If the stories are true, there's a dark virtue in that eye. Take it then. Perhaps you should put it in a jar. We have the hunter's eye. Eat the flesh of the deep lurkers and your eyes will change. What the hell? Is that all that it says? Weird. I have no clue what that is. I've never seen that item before. That might not have been a good idea. I wonder if something's going to try and hunt us now. Odd. I'm going to go back down to the south for a little bit. And we'll just kind of go to the southeast, I guess. I don't see too many things over here. We missed Blight on the way back, so I'll probably try and get that. Supplies and everything are still really, really good for right now. So until we only have like 4 or 5 fuel, there's no reason to go back to London. I think we should stay at sea and just kind of like risk it. We can't go back to London anyways. We're trapped away from home until we deliver this thing for the blind bruiser. He kills us if we go back. That's the stakes that we're playing with right now. You don't get like a wound card or anything like that. I'm pretty sure he kills you and you have to restart. So, you know, we got like 8 guys with us, but for whatever reason, I don't think they try and help you or anything like that if you get attacked. When I play this game, the screen is so dark that I realize there's a spot on my screen where apparently there's been some kind of impact that's actually damaged my screen. How disappointing. How incredibly, lamentably disappointing. Let's keep on sea batting. Looks like we got something right there. Dugan's Maw. Mount Palmerston is to the east. All right, we found it. And so that means we actually found it early enough to where now we can fill out our charts with just other things. We can flat out explore from here on in. We can go do our strategic information. We can do a bunch of fun stuff right now. So that's actually probably a best case scenario. We've still got 10 fuel left to burn. I should turn out my lights. Let me turn out my lights real fast. We've still got 10 fuel to burn before we have to be anywhere. So hell yeah. And we also have the availability of going back to the place we came from. So let's unlock Palmerston. There's going to be 50 fragments gained. Is there anything else around here now that we found it? Looks like we've got the Tides of Appetite way a long ways down to the south. Not the Appetite Stone. Appetite as in we're hungry. Appetite is actually a pretty cool little stone. If you're a geologist, you would have got that reference. If you're not, I mean, if you're just a rock hound, you probably get it too. But go look up Appetite. It's a cool rock. Very, very cool rock. Hard to identify, though. Apatite was always getting me in my mineral selections because my teachers used to like to mess with us. They would get stuff that looked like other things. So, for example, we had this giant, it was a giant greenish blue case bar that we had one time. It was a huge, it looked like, it was kind of like a crystal of quartz, too. It was a weird stone. It was on the quiz. I got it right because one of the seniors had tipped me off to it. They've been like, oh, yeah, if he brings out this big green rock, it's a case bar. And so mark it, it's not going to look like a case bar, but call it a case bar. I promise you, you won't regret it. And sure enough, it was a case bar. It looked like some kind of weird quartz apatite. I don't even know what the hell that thing was. Let's deliver our smuggled goods. I smuggled them so softly and so tenderly. You give the hooded shape a sign of recognition. It hisses the reply you expected. You hand over the crate and receive a chitty marked with a thief sign. Okay, so there it is. Sullen lights glow green at the jetty's edge. Behind the port buildings, the island is knee-deep in ash. There are ruins here and there of houses destroyed by fire. Far above, the mountain's top flickers red just for an instant. All right, so in we go. I think I'll probably... Let's go ahead and chat to the port folk about the Brimstone Convention. There was a revolution in hell, and the aristocracy of devils fled here. They plot an exile. They don't do us any harm. They stay up there, and we stay down here. If hell's fighting itself, that's good for us all, isn't it? And so we've got the Port Palmerston thing right there. Very, very nice. We could explore the island. It's probably a good plan. Tangles of thorn scrub climb the rocky slopes of the volcano. There are ruins here and there of houses destroyed by fire. Resupply, but keep away from the stream. A quiet hollow, a stream of dark, sweet water, a grove of parasynthetic fruit trees, boughs heavy with symbiotic fungus. Resupply, but keep away from the stream. So trees rarely attack. Fish, as any Zaylor knows, are chancier. Or we could fish in the stream, so we get lazy, menacing ripples disturbing the surface, but it's 70%. That's pretty good. That's not bad. Let's do it. You return to the ship with a gull fruit, gloam carp, and freshly filled water casks. It's been a good day. You've gained 2 supplies. Good, we're back up to 13. That feels safer. And so for right now, I'm going to break the episode off here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me as we had this desperate gambit to find Mount Palmerston. We did it, though, and so the game is our tapestry from here on in. I'll see y'all next time, delicious viewer. Hi, do out there.